Okay, I'm using this once more, converting a matrix into the data set or data frame, and we are going to further do the operations. What other we have here? So set seed, taking a matrix, random numbers, 15 random numbers over there, and your data frame. Here it is, and naming the data frame. So I use this command row names, call names. LMN, and these are the rows. How can we add a new column to it? Any suggestions? You have covered the same thing in your list. How to add a new part in the list. Same way you will add a new column. So what were you writing over there? Yes, you can go ahead by writing that also. For example, df and peak I'm writing, and you can assign it some value, and the value should be having the sequence length equal to this existing number of rows we have. You have total 15 rows, so you can go ahead with that one. Or you can also write df dollar. Once you write dollar, existing column names will appear. But if you write a new column name, you can assign a value to it. This is also correct. So both ways are correct. Above you try, below I will write C, and I would like to take it as 15 elements, right? So three values unique I'm going to take. Repeat. mm, Red, green, blue. And I would like to repeat the sequence. Repeat this sequence 5 times. It produces the result like this form, total 15, and I need only 15 records. So I'm passing it as in a sequence format. Now if I check df again, this is your df. Okay, we have also not done queries. How we write queries in your R? So query is something like your df in bracket you write something, df of some call name, and then some expression goes up, maybe greater than some value, equal to some value, and going ahead. This was in Python. Here also, if you have to put the query, you have to write in this form, df. Okay, when we are putting the query on something, are we putting the query on column or on the records?
Mm, on the
On the
records.
Yeah. So as you were doing slicing in the previous class, we are having the method that you have something as rows, comma columns. So the statisticians have made the design similar. You have to write the query on the rows or columns. So in columns, basically what you do after putting the query, what number of columns would you like to select? You pass over there. What are the columns you need to do? You select over there. And here you write the query on the row side. And you put the query using which command, under which you write that expression, that df of column name, and then some value. As an example, I would like to take it like, for example, I would like to take n values which are greater than, I have between random numbers, taking it to 80. The number which are greater than 80, and I want all the records for that. And this df dot, this is again a column name. So you write down something df column name, enter, and here are all the records. Here are all the records. You have it here. Suppose I would like to now make the query that I want the records which have a value equal to 80 in L, or we can take it like we have a values in P which are blue color, and first check, let me check what we have for blue color. We can write it here, which df dollar P equals to blue, and put a comma for sure. If you not put, this is the error what you will get. Put a comma to separate out that you are highlighting a filter or query on your row side. Okay, first is equal to. So this is the error you get if you're putting a query just like that, undefined columns. So I would like to put the columns like this, blue. And after that blue, I would like to drop the blue also. So what shall I write here to drop the blue? I mean, drop this column, last column. What shall I write here on the column side? Any
minus
suggestions?
minus C in bracket blue.
-4. Great.
Minus 1.
This is done. So what happens in your machine learning also? You might have covered on working on the X and Y. And basic most of the time you might also have seen the Y lies on the extreme right side. Am I right?
No.
Hmm. Even if it is not, then you can select all the columns and then you put a just minus sign to select X columns, and you can put just the number to take that Y columns. So this type of example you will also see in machine learning, that they will write something like df. I want all the columns for that except minus some 6 column. I would like to take all the columns. This will become your X, and Y will be df of that 6. This will become your Y. You can directly refer to the position numbers over there. Just as an example, the color is blue, and I would like to take here the values which are putting a second query over here. How to put a second query? We write something as which the color is P, and we can take it like in L, the values are greater than 70. I think 70 have few more values. So inside the single which you will write pass another condition, that and df dollar L has value greater than 70 or greater than equal to. Here is the answer. Only 4 records I have. These are the 4 records. So the query should be in the form of single which. Like you SQL you have covered now, all of you.
Yes.
If not, you just revise those classes. There we have where clause to put a filter. So where also, after writing a first query, if you have any other query, you put a ampersand or and. You put a and there, and to add another query. But where clause remains a single one. Similarly, which should be a single. You should not put two whiches over here. You can also make sure that the values that you're getting over here. If I have this type of query, and I would like to have the columns which lies in some sequence. As of now, you have taken a column name from the user, or it can be that you want for some other purpose. So you make sure that whenever you are passing the sequence, I would like to have the column name. Suppose I write here as XYZ in percent in percent your names of DF. So what is going to produce? False. That means there is no such column. And if I now make sure the query, so it is going to give no answer as this column does not exist. Similarly, if you have a list of columns that exist, so you can pass the names here. Like I would like to only have P, so P is absurd. You can take it as L. L, this is a query true. So if this stands true, make sure that this particular query is being sent. So I have L and I got the records as per the query. So if the column exists, then I can pass this query. So this is going to produce only yes or no, true or false. If the query answer is false, then execute this query on the row side. And if the column query is true, then only execute the row query. This is the syntax of putting the queries only.
Does the right part is applicable to querying on column and left part on rows?
Yeah, that is for sure. But if you want any column, you just pass on the column name over there or list of columns.
So can I pass something like my record is having name equal to or value equal to 72 over there? Like L column is having no, right? No, it will come into left side, right? Left side of expression.
The expression you would like to pass on the right side,
Hmm.
that will not work.
That will not work. That will come to the left only, I guess.
That will not work
Yeah.
if I put a query after comma and this over on the left side.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. The
undefined
left
comma.
part is for row query, row condition, and right part is for column condition.
Yes, not work. And I will save it on the desktop. We have the name kept as DFO. Done. So queries, you have the syntax something like here. That is df, which, and or I can write on here row query and here call query. This is the syntax what we can have here. We can do other things also, but I have not covered the built-in functions. Your R math built-in functions. Suppose I would like to have I covered mean, median, sum? Have
Yeah.
we covered that?
Yeah. In Python. Yeah.
No, here in R, how to write.
No, I guess at least I'm not sure.
These are the all built-in functions. You can directly write down mean and pass on the sequence here. Sequence can be something in form of vector, or it can be the list, matrix, matrix for specific row, and list for specific part, but should be a single sequence. So here also, if I just write df, what do you expect? What will it show? If I have df like this, what it is going to show? Error, or it will produce the mean of the three columns values we have, all of them.
I guess it will let an error
And what would be the reason for that?
because there is a p column, right, which is a character. I mean
Yes,
string.
we have. So you have to pass the particular sequence for that.
Mhm.
Dollar n 72.4667. Similarly, you have median also, df dollar l. This is the median value. And what all functions you have covered is something sum. Sum is a built-in function you have,
Yeah,
and you have something called as minimum, df dollar m, and maximum, df dollar m. So m has a total sum of records. We have 1045, minimum as 50, maximum as 90, and you can set it as range to work on all the values inside the m. Sorry about it. What kind of functions can you apply on the p? Mod, and it is a character. It does not throw you something like it should be your. It is not throwing like what are occurring maximum. It is just simply putting what is the data type. This is the incorrect definition what you have in R. Incorrect definition you have. So you have to make some function for it. And that is also I'm going to show how to make a function which is very easily available on the net. I will break down those steps, how it is working. That is what I can do from my side. And also, now you have seen these functions. Can you put a query? I want the records, extract records for DL having n. Anyone can suggest me the query? What shall I write here?
extra the records.
Jayanta, Purnima.
Yeah, so it is df of which
Hmm.
the df dollar n
Hmm.
is greater than mean of df of n,
Okay, then
and uh, p equal to read, and then comma, and the right part can be empty. You need not to have the right part of the df or the query.
you can put it like this: df which df dollar n is greater than equal to mean of df dollar n.
And
df dollar and df dollar.
I guess that will need.
P is equal to red.
Yeah.
Two records with respect to that query. What is the mean of n? Mean of n is 72.6646, and you can see the values are greater in n is as 81, 81. So it is greater than that. Also, you have round because I can see over here that I have getting 5 decimal points. I don't want to get that much points. You can put a round function also, something like 80.666885 number is, and you can put a number of decimal points you want. So this is the function of round. You put it nothing over there, it will directly give you the next ceiling number. So 80 point something will give you the next number. So these are the values you can take it up. Is it clear to all of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now working with NA values in data frame. For this, I have to assign something like as NA, and I would like to also assign something in as NA in your P. So DF dollar L is equal to NA. Simply writing it NA. DF. This is like a vacant cell. You have an Excel file. Dollar M is equal to NA. It will put the entire thing to your. This will be correct, incorrect. It's going to put entire column to NA. So specify the position number also. So write down over here. Okay. 1, comma L. Similarly here also 1, comma M. And this is second row inside the M as also NA. And your second row in your L and N as NA. Third row in your P. Third and 10th row. Run them simultaneously. All actions have been performed. You check the DF again. You can see here there is one NA in L, two NA in M, one NA in N, and two NAs in P. So red, green. Now if I check it out, like F1 is equal to factor DF dollar P. You can see here I have three unique values still having. It is not taking as NA over the unique values. So out of 15, three unique values, it is not taking the NA as a unique value. So I'm going to use some type of factor only to get you that mod applied over here that you're going to see further. And if any of the record is having NA in your data set, if any of the record is having NA, then you cannot perform the functions like your normal mathematics function. So if I just repeat those functions which are covered above, this is after NA. So if you call the data set from any source and it contains null values in any of the records, you will not be able to perform the actions like mean. It is going to put NA. It is saying like while I am working on the data set column N, I found that This is the data set column N. I found that there is one NA and I don't know the value of NA. So how can I add, oh sorry, I can add all the numbers plus unidentified number divided by 50. So any sequence plus unidentified number divided by total number of length, it is going to throw it as NA only, unidentified. Same goes for your median, sum, minimum, maximum. Everything will throw NA, NA, NA. So if you would like to have the values, if you have would like to have the values despite containing the NA, they statisticians have added a term right over here only. They say like if you would like to if you like to find the values mean of all the values inside n, and if it contains na also, simply write down na.rm. This is a uh, inbuilt syntax function they have written, and it stays like a logical value indicating whether na values should be stripped before computation proceeds. Should be stripped, so it will be removed. So I would like to take it as true. P means true, or you just write down full true. Same thing you apply for all of them. All of them have this built-in function. Now if I pass it, you can see mean, median. Median is now changed because it contains two NA. So while it has sorted the sequence, I think there would be like 13 elements, and then it try to find out median, sum, minimum, maximum. Is it clear?
Yes.
So Nitish, it will take as 0 or it will take as I mean null value. I
It
mean
means
like 0
remove.
or it will.
Remove.
Okay. So if it is suppose for example 10 numbers are there, out of the 2 numbers are null value, so it will take as 8 value, right? Average out as 8 value.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. It means remove, not taking it. This is the theory behind it, while you're imputing the values also. So now if I would like to fill the values inside any of the column using the operations of mean, median, or mod, these are simplest operations that you have. Apart from that, you can of course build a logic. You can compare 2, 3 columns and then make sure that we are not making the set data set biased also. But that is again higher levels. Simple operations, what you can do to get the mean, median, mod using this sequence after removing NA, and then you write down replacing the value. Like I have assigned a value over here is equal to NA. So instead of putting equal to NA, I will pass the query equal to mean of this part. This is the syntax you have to follow. So we can consider now. That is why I think I have taken 3 columns to apply 2, 3 operations. On one we can apply mean, one we can apply median, then on P we can apply mod, and we can also apply mean. Imputing and S. Smitha, Sonam, I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So first, if you like, if your job is to check out how many NAs you have in information command, it does not tell here in DataFrame that what are the number of NAs we have. Database here. If you put the structure of DF, you're not having the information of how many NAs I have. So it is showing 15 observation, 4 variables, L, M, N, P, integer, integer, character. But what about NAs? It is not giving me anything information for it. So if you like to focus on only NAs, you can write the condition inside the brackets is.na. In Python, you something like write like this, na df dot is na. Am I right?
We're writing null.
Null is also okay. Is null is also there, is NA is also there. You can cross check.
Yeah, is in it.
But after that, you write something else also. Total number. You write the sum.
Dot sum.
So this was in Python. But if you would like to proceed the same thing, similar, you can see dot is NA, so is dot NA, some function is there, similar. And data frame DF inside the bracket you have to pass. So which column you are referring? That is what it means. So column I am referring, for example, DF dollar P is dot DF dollar NA DF dollar P DF taking consideration this same column, right? Here it is. We have two NAs in my P, but this is again not showing the sum. How to check the sum? You have to pass the same thing into something like row sums or call sums. Row sums and call sums. There are two built-in functions you have. You pass the sequence with respect to number of rows, it is going to produce a sum. This type of function. What type of function you like to have? So it's like count, or not, it's like not count, sorry, it is sums only. So how many you have, I would like to get it is dot NA in my data frame. So as per the number of records, just look at the DF again and this function. Let's look at it again. My DF and number of records. You can see here that A, B, C, as per the considering number of records one by one, A, B, C, D, E. In first record, I have two NAs. Second record, I have two NAs. And third one. And then somewhere at J as one NA. So it is going to throw the sums of only NA function where it is true. So how many trues I'm getting? If I just run this function, you're getting true, false, true, false. So I'm just calculating the number of trues I have. Similarly, with respect to column, I would like to find out. So is dot NA and bracket DF. So L inside that column, I have one NA, M2, L1, P2. So this is similar to what you are having the above commands in Python to calculate total number of NAs. So this produce, I think, column wise only. So you're getting the column wise using here. Is it clear?
Yes.
And if you like to focus on some column now, directly on some column, that these are the NAs I would like to impute. If I talk about first column, L. So this was the first column. So in order to impute, you have to exactly replace the same number of NAs with the mean except NA. Total number of NAs I have in L, I should be replaced by the mean of NA. So copy this one. The right function is exactly the same. It's L. Mean of L, and if I just run it again, it is getting 70.85. Okay. We can round it to 2 decimal points. 70.86. So one NA value inside the L will be removed by 70.86. What we write over here, we will try to find that NA first. So DF dollar NL is not giving the NA. If you just directly run this query or this line, It is going to push 70.86 to this entire L that I don't want. So in my L, I would like to find that function in the brackets, write down is dot na df dollar L. Inside the column L, inside the column L, how many NAs I have. So it is putting the true false over there. And if I run this query now, it is going to put 1. So one single NA inside my L, I would like to replace it by round. Is this clear? Like how we are making this condition?
Nitish, what is this two means?
I'm rounding the number. I was getting previously 70.857. So I'm rounding it to 2
So
decimals.
what? Two decimal.
Yes. You can take it to 1 also. You can take it to 3 also. Or 0 also. Up to you.
So what it happens if you are doing na.rm, it is removing, right? Removing the null.
After removing the one NA inside my L. So after removing this first NA, the 14 numbers I have, what is the average of those 14 numbers? Is 70.85. Okay.
Yeah.
So to replace the null, na.rm is mandate, right? You need
Yes,
to specify that.
mandate. If you will not do, it is also going to show it as NA only. Again, you have joined late today. Is it clear?
Nitish, why we have that equation in the left side?
Why we have that equation? Because I would like to replace exactly those and only NAs inside my L instead of putting replacing everything by mean. If I run this one, you can see here, I'm getting in the L column only single NA. So only single value inside the L column having NA value should be replaced by mean.
Okay, okay. This is for replacing.
Now if I run this one, action is done. Check it out again. You can see a single column has been replaced by, oh sorry, a single value has been replaced by 70.86. And because a single data type is converted to floating point, I hope you remember the hierarchy we have: character, then complex, then float, then integer, then boolean. So everything has been typecasted to floats.
So, Nitish, this if we have specified df dollar $L, so it will replace in the column L whatever NA values will be there. It will be replaced with whatever we have mentioned, like mean.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is only specific to L. Now I will concentrate on N also. If I check for N, now I'll replace everything by N here. N sequence is something like this: false, true, false, 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 false. And here also it is having a single, only one NA. So I would like to replace that NA inside my N after replacing NA. So after replacing the 14 numbers that I have, after removing NA, adding all 14 numbers divided by 14, you are getting 72.43. I'm replacing that and check it out again. So you are now getting 72.43 over there, and others we are getting as floating points. For median, in M you have 2 NAs. In M column, you have 2 NAs, and you can also see in first 2 records I have maintained NA, and after replacing MA and I'm putting some other function here, median. So that is 65. After removing 2 NA values, for the next 13 values, we have the median as 65. If I don't use the round function here, you can see out, it is again 65. So there is no need of round function here. Replacing 2 NA values by 65. First two records in M will be replaced by 65. Run it and check it out. First two records have been replaced by 65. Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we can learn about how to make use of your mod, how to make a mod function. Okay, so mod function, this is something different we have. Before mod, you have to also see what other function we have is unique. So this unique or df, what it do, it is something similar to what you have is Python drop duplicates. Have you covered drop duplicates? What it does, what it do?
Eliminate the duplicate.
It will remove all the duplicates in df, and what you the next action you do something like this. Df is equal to df drop duplicates. This action you perform. So you have two other operations like you have unique also that tells you all the unique values. But in your R you have only unique. So if you use this df is of unique and store it back to df, it is exactly same operation you're performing as dropping the duplicates. What are the unique values I have? I am storing back into df. But I don't have any unique. It is giving me the same thing. And if I put it like this, df unique of unique is a single function. I want unique values inside my P. So you can see here 4 unique values are there. Red, green, and blue. Unique and in unique function pass anything, it is going to throw the unique values you have for the entire sequence, no matter how long the sequence is. So for mod function also, we have to make sure that we know about how a unique works, because then we add a count here for each of the unique values, red, green, NA, blue. What are the counts we have? So for mod, we need the count, and the maximum count will be taken as the mod that variable with which we have to replace. I hope I'm giving you the correct definition of mod, right? Which appears the maximum that should be thrown.
Yes.
So for
Frequency.
yes, so for getting the maximum, you have to get the first unique values, and then we check it out for each count of the unique values, which is having the maximum count. So getting the count, we make sure we have something called as the name is something match is there. And if you like to count how many, maybe right now 4, you can visibly see also, you can do it. You can use the built-in function length. We have already covered and pass the sequence here. Total 4 unique elements I have. We make call match, and in there X is df dollar P comma unique of df dollar P. This is has given a count to it. So currently all unique values are given a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are the numbers. Red is given 1, green as 2, NA as 3, and blue as 4. And you can count out where the NAs are coming. It is coming at the third row, and it is coming at 10th row as per my calculation J. So you can see over here at third row you have 3, and at 10th you have 3. So match assign something as numbers with respect to the sequence it has got, number of unique values. The next we do, we pass the tabulate to give the count of all these unique numbers, what you are seeing in here. So you put everything inside the tabulate. And now you're getting the total count. So how many times 1 is repeating? That is 4. And you can see red is repeating 4 times. How many times green is repeating? 5 times. How many times N is repeating? 2 times. And how many times blue is repeating? 4 times. So which can be filled over here in the NA as per the mod? Which color will be it? Red, green or blue?
Blue.
No, sir. 5. See, 5 is there.
Okay, yes.
Green. Green will be taken. And next you write down.
What is match doing exactly?
Match is actually assigning a unique number to all the unique values. So because in your R, everything starts with the index 1. So red is given on 1 number, green is given a 2 number, Na3, and blue 4. So it is assigning the numbers to all of the sequence over here with respect to the categorical and checking it out. Okay.
So does the match has to mention with unique, or can we also specify some other function with the match?
Mm, Like in data frames, if something plotting is there, yeah, you can pass something else. But here the purpose of match is to just to assign inside my P the sequence where are all the unique values applicable. Just assign some numbers to it. Just match it out.
Because we do not have such kind of match function in Python, right? So this is
Yes, that is
something
why we
like
have
new.
noted over here. A match you can use. It can be used to just assign some number to the unique values you have and push the numbers inside the whole sequence.
Okay.
Those unique values, those unique numbers have been pushed inside the whole sequence where it is occurring. So matching that numbers. Tableau shows the total count we have wherever it has matched out. So how many 1 I have, how many 2 I have, how many 3, how many 4. It is found inside this sequence. Tableau function is to just get me out how total count frequency of this matching, frequency of this sequence, numerical sequence what I have. So it is just calculating how many 1, 2, 3, 4, and so going forward. Then you have a built-in function to give you the answer, which what is the maximum number in this sequence. So that built-in function is which dot max. Tabulate. So you're getting at position 2. Which dot max at position number 2, which is number total. Okay. Which dot max gives you at position 2 with respect to the sequence tablet has shown you. And at position 2, you're getting a 5. What is 5? 5 is the total number of times as per the match sequence 2 is repeating. 2 is repeating. And what is 2? 2 is a reference given to the color green. So indirectly we have got the answer as green. And then we show after this we write down something as unique value. So unique value and pass this entire sequence over here. Why do you think in the last also you have to write down unique? Hmm? Any answers? Why do you think in the last also you have to write down?
We may still have the same number repeated in case.
If we have same like 4, 4 is also coming now.
Yes, yes.
So 4, 4 is coming. So get me the first one. Unique will go like it will take only single 4. So what is the first one is coming is like we have red over here. So red will be taken. If that was the case. unique of df dollar p. Just one second. Df great. So this is not, this one is unique of df dollar p against which dot maximum, this query. So it is giving you which dot max. Number two is there. And now for respect to number two, what is the color? Green color. So after all this running the queries one by one, you are able to get the mod answer. So mod
So
is not,
here the tablet function is working like a value count in Python, right? Because tablet is ultimately giving the number of specific times the value was repeated.
number of times the specific values repeated, but Tableau, yes, I can't confirm it. Let me write down that for sure. We can explore one on the data set, we can extract, and then we can work on it. How on a tablet can behave in that situation. Here, now you have to make a mod function. So to make a mod function, what you require? Can you define a single variable? What I'm taking here for this entire sequence, what is a single variable? Actually, the only function is this unique, this single line. But to explain the single line, I've broken down into further steps over here. For this unique line, what is the single variable I'm taking?
P.
It is df dollar p. So you have to
Yeah.
maintain that which column is it. So I can make a function mod func, and it is a function for me, saving it into a variable mod fun. Here I require only a single variable, so I can take it as x. You can define anything and simple brackets this. And now you write the whole thing you have written. You need something as unique over here. So, okay, I will make something as unique. This one, and then you're pushing it like this. Okay, this is the second thing. What I'm doing here, instead of df dollar p, you will replace everything by x. So this is your x, and this is your x. This is your x here, and unique also x. So now pass me any column. I'm going to provide you the answer. Or you can do one more thing. You can directly write down. You can delete this also, but why not to take it as a variable? Like say unique value is equal to this, or uv something like this, and then making it just a little simpler, like this way. Call the create the function. There is no error in the syntax. Now same syntax for imputing. Same syntax for imputing. It was p. Last one. Last one. I have two NAs in my p. Now, because I have designed the function, so I know that in that designed function, nowhere I made use of this NA or RM equal to true. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Make the function name over here. Any function name is go to make sure you write this way, and here green, and at 10th position also green. So this is the syntax to make a mod function. It is only 2 lines, but in this second line is so much vast that you have to break down to consider what is actually happening for each of them. Just do make sure like you repeat it once, and if you found it any error, if you have any doubts, You can ask me in the first 10 minutes of tomorrow class before we start the visualization. But make sure you also try it once from your side. I will save this thing. Now you have seen here till now how a query is being made and NA values, how to work with NS values. This exact thing you can also populate in vectors, in your list, in your matrix. Same steps you have to follow. Because in your mean, median, mod, you're passing the sequence. The sequence can be anything like vector also, matrix also, list also. So all these things are applicable for all the objects. They run in the same fashion. The next thing that we have is, let's check it out. Converting categorical to numerical. Yes, that we can do. And I hope you have also installed fast dummies. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I have made one assignment for all of you, and that is on the data manipulation package in this weekend. Manipulation package. That is Dipler. I will be covering first this one. We have 1 hour, we can cover this one. Tomorrow I'm going to take up the topics of like your data editor and your categorical to numerical. First, we can cover the Dipler package, and tomorrow we can take forward in the first half an hour it can be covered. But this Dipler, I need 1 hour. Dipler. So I made the theory, put in the notepad file. Let me copy it for you. How to import the package? What shall I write? Any suggestions?
Library.
Library and write down the package name
Yeah.
Dipler. If you have not installed, please install it using this install dot packages and write down the word Dipler. Using this syntax, it will be installed. Now import it. So this is a theory I've written. PLYR was the previous package you were having, but then Dipler came up, which has become PLYR. So what happens? This package, it provides you a easy way of working with data manipulation. It provides you easy way of working with data manipulation. Most of the companies using this Dipler packages, and the syntax is very much similar with respect to your ggplot. I think our developers over there were maintaining the same type of format so that the users are also not confused how to each time write it. So like you are having something like head command and tail command. In head and tail, you write something like first data frame, df, and then tell the count. In all of them, you make sure that you are writing this function names, select, filter, arrange, rename, mutate, summarize. You write that first data set name, df, and after the comma, you make sure you write something as the function related to this particular. Just 1 second. Sorry about it. So deploy is most of the times I use in the starting, I just call it because it makes my work easier to work on the data frame side. And you will also see like how it makes your work easier. First is select. I've maintained the theory over here and I also uploaded one of the ebook on the drive that also contains the deploy operations. So first is select. It returns a subset of columns of a data frame. As it suggests, returns a subset of columns. Now, by default, it will not exist. First, you have to import the deploy. Then only it will unpack and it will call all the variables. It will uninstall and that way it will happen. Now in my data set, I have this data set df. Okay, or you can make sure that you are containing a new data frame. So I'm using the from starting, making a data frame again. Suppose this is my data frame. And rename is also required. Done. We just write down the function name, select. And now you can see after importing the package, the select is being highlighted. And where does it lie? In the deploy. First, tell me the data as it's suggesting, or you can take a help from the help also. Select subset columns using their names and types. There are multiple scenarios in which you can use the select one, and the method how we do it is written like okay. So let me write it down. In df data frame, what are the columns that you want? So after df, in the meantime, how are you passing the column names? You are writing something as in order to get it, you are passing something like df dollar column name, or you're writing something as df square bracket column name. This was the sequence how you're calling the columns. And if you have to pass multiple columns, how what were you writing? Anyone?
Means
Huh? What were you I was writing?
df of c and then in bracket
Hmm.
column names.
M and then P. So I have to pass the sequence and it is incorrect because you have to pass in this form, slicing format. TF of C M P. Error in data frame DFMP undefined column selected. Any suggestions what I've written incorrect here?
Why we are passing it as a second column?
I want all the records for these two columns.
A comma should be there after P.
I've written a comma. After P, why will I have after P?
No, to be
I mean,
In data frame. Any suggestions? Jayanta, Purnima? The same thing I'm passing. Am I right?
Yes.
After comma, I'm writing only. So what is the error I'm getting over here?
Line number 262. Can we execute line number 262?
That is the records.
It is rows, right? Okay.
Records or rows or indexes, what we have for that. What is the small error I am doing over here? DF. I want a third record of M column. Here is the answer. Our third record of M. Acha, I am getting the error because in my data frame does not have P as of now.
Mm, that's what I wanted you to print the data frame.
So in P, here it is P. Now you have the exact thing. Now you check it out. All these things are available. Write down. DF of after comma C of P and M. This was the usual case how you're working. It's entirely up to you how you like to make it extract the column. Some people do with select, some people directly would like to write it down. So select actually gives you a better way of getting the columns. Each time you are putting the columns, what you're doing also, you are writing the column names in quotes. But if I don't write in quote, will it throw the error or will it work? Purnima, Smitha, error or success?
Should work, I guess.
Does the variable exist in the database? There is no variable. And one more thing, I don't want P. Is this correct?
No, it will not work.
Why?
Because this minus sign is applicable only on the numerical values.
Yes, these two does not work here. But then select came up and they maintained everything. Just simply write down the column names after this. No matter how many columns you are. Separate it just with comma. M, L. I want these two columns. Here are the two columns. Okay. I want these two columns, but I remember the column names. I'm very much hurried. I want to just faster close it down. So I don't bigger column name. As of now, I have just small names and L. Here is the answer. Despite not having the codes, it is adding the codes here. So after select, when you mention data frame, it automatically add codes at the backend. And you're free to just write down it as a variable name. But it will only work inside the select, only inside select, only inside the deploy commands, not outside it. If I write here like select, I want the column entire data set except P minus P. Here is the answer. Minus was not working first of all in your normal ways, but now it is working. But this is only inside your select. You can pass the range also here. That from select. This is only with respect to columns. I would like to have first 2-3 columns. Here is the answer. Everything what you are doing, the slicing part, everything in the slicing part you are performing over here after comma, you can push it here, but without writing the quotes. It can be a range, it can be a sequence of names, and except. Is it clear?
Yes.
And it's there is no limit to this select also, like it really adds much more functionality in my data frame, which contains, you can see contain is there, which contains the word as L inside the columns. As of now, I have only one column, so L is not executing. I think here I have to pass something as here. L. This is the one. If I have bigger columns names, for example, I would like to change my element for now. My call names of df is this. I would like to assign it as C.
Yes, here Nitish, when you are writing select df, comma 1:3, it is taking the entire column, including the row, right?
All row. This select functionality is only focused on subset of columns. There's no
Yeah.
thing for records. All the records will be extracted for the selective columns.
And there, if I want to get, I mean, like only the column obviously will be there, but selecting with the rows, so separately I have to write it.
Yes, separately. That is called as filter. Extract subset of rows. Okay, you can mix them up, but let us first focus on select here. Football, balloon, ball, and your okay. Why I have written some things like that, such names, because I would like to select my df that ends with where the words end with ball. There are only two words that end with ball: football, basketball, and that ends with ball. Acha, haan, ball itself ends with ball. My bad. I should write it here all. All is also there. Basket, foot. Okay, T-ball. In football and basketball, we have T-ball. So it is actually looking for this word, exact word. If I have smaller b here, smaller b here, you can see I'm still getting the answer. Ball, ball. So wherever this particular string is there or T-ball is there, it is giving the answer. So it automatically converts everything in the lowercase and try to size out the pattern. That is something like ending in T-ball, T-ball, T-ball. And you can also push it like starts with. So it starts with BA, ball. We have two columns, ball and balloon. So I think this is what you have in Excel files also. While you do filter, it asks you, begins with, ends with, contains. Am I right?
Yes.
But don't put the query like which we have done using which commands. I can't put the queries here. Query means applying on the records. So which command cannot be used here? Which records something like greater than mean, median? No, it is just looking forward to the columns. That's it. We have filter for it. So in filter, you pass the query. Any question related to select you have?
No.
So I hope this will make your work also easier while you're working. Right now I have this updated column names. Filter. Extract a subset of rows from a data based on the logical conditions. Check it out. Syntax is same. Filter. Write down the first dataset name. Now the pattern that you follow. will be applicable on the records. Suppose I want ball greater than mean of ball. Ball is greater than mean of ball. Ball. Here are the records. I want the entire data frame in which the column, this is with respect to rows, I am passing it as filter. Filter on the column balls which have the values greater than mean of ball. Or you can filter something like this. Filter df on column name is football having values less than median of football. Now the spellings matters here. BALL and ball. Here are all the records. What is the median? Now if I run this thing, just selected cell, it will throw the error because median of only football does not exist. You have to write here df dollar football. You have to write it separately. So df dollar football 73, and you can see all the records here less than 73. Getting it? How we can make use of your filter commands? Yes or no? And I built an assignment in which you will be also working on the same thing. So we can discuss the assignment tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I think in first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it can be worked out. And along with the football, I would like to also pass the query as and my basketball has the color basket ball has the color as red, and here are all the red colored. And here is mixing the fact. This is called as pipeline. This dollar is the pipe operator used to connect multiple verb actions together into the pipeline. So what happens whenever you're doing certain actions into the pipeline? This is something specific here. Pipeline says perform first set of actions, and then before passing the next set of actions, use this special symbol percent greater than percent. How does this linking pipeline? How does this link? Have I make it over here? No. This pipeline, you can select it something like this. You have written, you want the action on first operation, and then you like to go ahead with the second operation. And then you like to go ahead with some third operation you would like to perform on the data set. So how you write in the pipeline? You write something like this: third, second, first. Mathematically, you write similar way, na? That first action, whatever is the answer of the first, then perform the second action on that, and then whatever is the answer of the second, you produce the third action on that. Am I right?
Yes, right.
So in pipeline, you also write something like this: third, no, first operation, then percent greater than percent. This first is you should be done first, and then second. Then whatever is the output of these actions, it should be applied on the third. So this is what I have done. First, I applied a filtration on the records. And the moment I use pipeline operator, I don't have to use df again. So it actually means I'm working on the df only. Let me separate both of them. If I write something like this, it actually means after filtration, what all records you have got, that is the first action. The second action should be done selecting the columns. So it is applied on the data frame only, existing data frame. And if I write this simultaneously, I'm getting the answer only for balloons after filtration is done. Or you can do one more thing, which usually you will find it online. They will write it from the starting, right from the beginning, that this is the first action, my data frame. In the pipeline, what all action I'm doing on the data frame, I'm applying some filter. And after filter, what I'm doing, I'm selecting something. So this is also giving the same answer. Everything in pipeline. First action, take this data frame. Second action, apply filter on this data frame. And what type of action? Football less than median value of football and basketball equal to red color. Now, whatever answer you have got till now in the first two steps. So you have this a smaller data set. From the smaller data set, I would like to select only and only balloon. So that is the filter statement I have to apply on this existing data frame. So I just put a pipeline operator, and this pipeline operator automatically understood I'm talking about this smaller data set. From this smaller data set, I would like to select my only balloon. Is it clear like how we can make use of pipeline operator?
Yes.
Great, very great. So it became a lot easier for these reasons. Simple syntax, and you are able to follow the methods with shorter hands now. We don't have to write the complete code. Make sure the syntax is just correct with respect to spellings, basketball, football, the column names, and that's it. Suppose now the next thing that we have here is, so we have select filter. The next thing we can apply pipeline. I think we have arrange, reorder rows of a data frame. This is the third function you have, reorder rows. Syntax is same, arrange, data frame, and with respect to what column would you like to rearrange? I would like to rearrange with respect to my data frame is like this. I would like to rearrange with respect to my football. And you can see it has been put under ascending order. Under ascending order. And no, I don't want football. I would like to have ball in the descending order. So we can write over here first. This is ascending order. For descending order, we have something as df, and I would like to apply on ball. How it looks, it is in ascending order as of now. In arrange, you have a built-in function descending also, and this will give you the descending order. '87, '86, and then going downwards. You can arrange that also. And if I would like to apply a pipeline operation on this, you write down df, call the data set, and then after that arrange in with respect to now balloon I would like to have. So balloon, that will be in ascending order. After arranging in ascending order, I would like to do some filtration. So I would like to filter the records which are only red color or except red color. Except red color I would like to put out. So you can write another thing over here. So I'm applying filter on the records of basketball except red color. Okay. Here is the answer. Is it clear? How we are merging the combinations and we're working on it?
What is the percentile doing here?
Percentile is doing nothing. I think if you recall, do you remember I was writing something as, suppose I have a sequence of, I have this sequence 10 to 100 with a step size of 11. If I write down, if I have this sequence and carefully see the sequence here, let's repeat it again. This is the sequence. And if I write something as 10 in percent, you recall it? What does it happens here?
Yes, yes.
So what was the percentile doing here? Syntax, right?
Yes, yes.
So that was also syntax, how you write it down. So this is going to check true or false with respect to in operator. So here also the pipeline operator has the syntax is percent greater than percent. So greater means first operation should be done on DF, and then after that, what is the next operation? It's just like putting in hierarchy. So first operation, then second operation, and then third operation. This is the hierarchy we are following. So first I'm selecting a data frame, then I would like to arrange with respect to balloon, and this is how it looks with respect to balloon. And after that, I would like to filter, get all the records except red color, and here is the answer. Okay, Purnima, Jayanta, Hemant, George, Anik,
Yeah, it's good.
Smitha, Sonam, Sai, Vivek, all clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Next thing you have rename. Rename the variables. This becomes now easier to grab on. Fourth operation, rename the variables. What type of variables you have? You have the variables like your file names only, I mean column names only. So you can take it anything. I could have used rename also to directly put it, but I thought of taking it later on. So you can write a df, sorry, rename in df and highlight in the way of something like new value equal to old value. What is the new value you would like to assign to the old value? New value assign old value. Yeah. And whatever selective columns, if you're having selective columns, you put a comma there. And if you like to put all the column names, fresh new names, then the only method you have is column names. In this df, pass this entire sequence in this C form to rename it. But if you want selective, there was no way of selecting having selective columns. So we use this rename method over there. Write down rename, and in df, I would like to rename my basketball in smaller case this time. Basketball equals to basketball. And also I would like to take it as football as football. And here is the answer. Football done, basketball done. So why I have written in this way, so that you don't you learn from my mistakes over here. You learn here that it does not matter in my any other deploy commands whether I pass the variable name, that is column name, inside the quotes or without the quotes. It does not matter. Only the spelling matters, that it should exist. Okay. Yes or no? What shall I take it?
Yes.
Next we have is the most important. It is the most important command. Mutate. see here, it adds new variables or columns or transform existing. For example, transform existing means like you would like to do some types of operation inside one column and store the answer to df only. Right now my df is this. No action I have stored back to df. In all of them, I'm not stored the actions in df only. If you do something like df equals to this, if I take df1 equal to this, so this means after doing the actions, my answers are stored in df1, but I'm not storing anywhere. I'll just try to perform the action to show you everything. If you like to rename it back, you can put df1 equal to this, and here is my df1. The names have been updated. So after doing the task over on df, I have saved it in df1. You can save back to df, but I don't want to manipulate anything in my df. I'm keeping it right away as it is. What types of operations you can perform in df? It's like you can add a column, you can remove only add. You can add a column, and you can transform the existing columns, transforming, applying some types of mathematical operations. So we use slips like this. Mutate. In my df, add a column. It is total 15 elements, right? So I'm writing like ball, balloon, basketball, football, volleyball. Volleyball have a sequence of 15 elements, so I can take it as random. As dot integer run if, or this time instead of random I will put sequence here. 15 I want. My syntax says for the sequence from 7, or let's say 11, I would like to get a step size of 3, and my length dot out is 15. First see what is the sequence is going to, you are going to have total 15 elements it is. So mutate, add a volleyball column with a sequence of 15, and sorry, not assign it equal to. So I told you in the syntaxes, you don't have to put that assignment operator. You can only use equal to. Here is the answer. So volleyball, you have added 15 elements. You can add a column, or you can do one more thing. You can add the column using this df, that percentile, pipeline operator, and after that term mutate to my variable df. Here is the answer. So you can add a column using your data frame. Any suggestions? So let's write it down first of all. Suppose inside my existing column of your ball, I would like to perform some mathematical operation. So ball minus 20, and you can see the answer. 60 minus 20, 64 minus 20, 72 minus 20, and so on. Or you can write over here also like I don't know, minus 20. I would rather get it by mean of 20 ball. So after subtracting the mean, you're getting this answer, and I would like to take it to round. This is the answer. Or I want, instead of ball, I would like to have on my balloon minus, or let's add standard deviation to it. Standard deviation Standard. What was the function? Variance. I would like to add variance to it. And this is the answer by adding the variance. Of course, variance will be a large value. Is it clear like how we are working on this? Let's say standard deviation only, SD. And here's the standard deviation. Again, round it to only 1 decimal point this time. Jayanta, George, Hemant, Purnima.
I'm good.
Yes or no?
Yes, I'm good.
So mutate is one of the variable, one of the built-in function in your, what is it, deploy, that can add a variable and add a column name, or you can also do some type of mathematical operations. Suppose I would like to combine them, my balloon also, ball also. I would like to combine both of them. So what shall I write? Any suggestions? What shall I write?
Tabulate.
Tabulate? No, not tabulate. Just put it aside with commas. This entire function, oh sorry, this entire function should be just separated by a comma here. Okay.
Yes.
And you can do one more thing, and you will be also requiring that one. It happens that you have a data frame, and suppose you are predicting basketball because it is in different colors. Only that this is the reason I'm taking it. You would like to apply something on the entire data set except basketball. Except basketball. You can do that thing also. On this entire data set, suppose I would like to make the action of multiplying everything by 0.5. You can do the scaling also, but that is the machine learning topic. In this, you can write down df into 0.5 and df of except one, except basketball. So minus basketball, not referencing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4. Except for everything have been multiplied by 0.5. So basketball, it was not taking as of that, except for you have to pass the number over here. But if you want except that, you can pass a select over here. So before adding something, selecting everything. So what I can write it over here also, df select except your basketball, got except basketball, and then pipeline operator mutate to perform some action. I am multiplying my df by 0.5. Error occurred. Except basketball. Basketball. Cannot write the df then. Because again, df says you have removed the basketball. How can I multiply df with basketball into 0.5? Okay, I'm maintaining a star over here. Let me recall it. So you can multiply everything by 0.5 except your one column also inside the entire data frame. Is it clear? What is the purpose of mutate?
Yes, yes.
Purnima, Jayanta, if you have anything, you can ask.
Nitish, we are mutable. We are muted to. I mean, like, except basketball, we are multiplying with 0.5 to all the row, all the column, right?
Right.
I mean, yes. So that is so multiplied in a sense like 0.5 to. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Fine.
That's good.
So this muted, it doesn't mean that exactly it is muting, like mutable, right?
Mutable, or that mutable is different. That mutable is you can delete also, remove also, or replace also, right? Anything inside the sequence. As per Python, you are trying to understand.
Yes, yes.
That is different. This mutate is to mutation. Mutation means transforming. You can add an operation, mathematical operation to it, and you can do some type of task. And last but not the least, it is all about your group by. So group by, okay, we can cover it tomorrow. It was going to take 10 to 15 minutes. You do revise these things, and I'm going to share one of the assignment with you. The questions where it contains group by actions, you can hold for that. But apart from it, you can cover others questions and do revise this concept. And tomorrow we are going to take forward to visualizations topics. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
cool. So have a nice day, and we can connect tomorrow.